Alright, this is a video response to all of these stupid ass fucking comments I keep getting on a video that I commented on. It was a video where these two guys debunked all these myths about these electric superchargers and leaf blowers and all this fucking stupid ass shit that people try to get horsepower out of their cars. These fucking assholes keep telling me that these people that are commenting keep telling me that I'm wrong, that it can work. Listen, do you not understand how a fucking turbo works? Okay, listen, I don't care how many fucking leaf blowers you strap to a fucking car. It's never going to, I don't care, it's definitely not going to get, this one guy claimed that it gained 20 horsepower on a big block 350 Chevy. Okay, that is not possible. Okay, I don't know what they did to that engine to gain 20 horsepower on it, but it ain't fucking strapping 5 leaf blowers on it. I can tell you that. First of all, a fucking leaf blower is not an air compressor. It's an air blower. It's not a leaf compressor. It's a leaf blower. It fucking blows air. And those fucking electric superchargers do the same damn thing. All those fucking electric superchargers they're fucking bilge blowers for boats. You don't think so? Go to fucking Google and Google bilge blower, and you'll get an image of those fucking electric superchargers. I have some idiots tell me that the way the leaf blowers and electric superchargers make more power is because they flow more CFM than the engine draws naturally. I don't know, it varies depending on the engine size. Most engines draw around 250 to 350 CFM naturally. Do you know what CFM is? Cubic feet per minute? It's a measurement of speed. It's how fast the air is moving through the intake. Not how much air is moving through the intake. How fast. The engine doesn't fucking care how fast the air is moving through the intake. I have this bottle for a reason, by the way. Hey, look at this bottle, okay? I got the top off. Now let's imagine that this bottle is the top side of your engine. We'll say that the opening on the bottle here is where your throttle body is, and the inside of the bottle is your intake manifold and your combustion chambers. Now we're sitting in a room right now at normal atmospheric pressure. The top's off the bottle, so obviously the air that's in the bottle right now is at normal atmospheric pressure. If I stick a hairdryer on the end of this and start blowing air in it, do you think it's going to compress the air? No, it's not going to compress the air in the bottle. If I even if I fucking stick the hairdryer on it and fucking tape it up and shit to where the air can't get out and let it run for a few seconds and then turn the hairdryer off, how much pressure do you think's in it then? Normal atmospheric pressure. You know why? Because the fucking hairdryer doesn't compress air. It's a hair blower. It's just like a fucking leaf blower. That's all a leaf blower is a glorified hairdryer. Only so much air will fit in the bottle at any given time. And the same is true for a fucking engine. Any engine. Only so much air will fit in the combustion chambers. If you're flowing air down the intake at 10,000 cubic feet per minute, which would be an insane speed for fucking air blowing down your intake, it's not going to compress it. It's still going to let air in at normal atmospheric pressure. It's not letting in any more air than it would have if you had not been blowing air down the intake. Because even though the air is blowing at 10,000 CFM, it's still normal atmospheric pressure. It's still the same amount of air. I can't believe that people actually consider themselves car enthusiasts and don't know how a fucking turbocharger works. They think that these fucking electric superchargers work. Do you know what a real turbocharger is? It's an air compressor. That's what a real turbocharger and a real supercharger. They're air compressors. Not air blowers, air compressors. Only so much air will fit in the intake at any given time, or in this bottle. For argument's sake, we'll say the bottle. Now, if I were to take an air compressor and strap it on the end of the bottle, well, first of all, the bottle would explode because this plastic's not strong enough to hold pressurized air. But hypothetically, let's say my bottle is made out of metal, just like your intake manifold or whatever. If I put an air compressor on it, then I'd have more air in the bottle than what's in it right now. Because it would be more air per square inch. That's why every time you see a fucking turbocharger for sale on the internet, they talk about PSI, not CFM. Anytime you see any fucking scumbag trying to sell you a fucking electric supercharger and they rattle on about how much CFM it blows, you know it's a fucking ripoff. Because CFM is irrelevant when you're talking about any boosted application. The engine doesn't fucking care how fast the air is blowing down the intake. If the combustion chamber is a vacuum, it has no air in it, and the throttle body opens to let some air in, it's only going to draw in as much air as it needs to fill the combustion chamber. And this is true with anything. Like, it doesn't even have to be a fucking engine. Like, if you had two rooms in space, if you were in a vacuum, let's say you were in space and you had two pressurized rooms with air in it, and you vented the air out of one of the rooms, and you had one room sealed off with no air in it, and you had the other room full of air, and all of a sudden you open the door, all the air is going to go rushing into the other room, but then there's not going to be more air in the other room than it would have been had you already had it filled with air. Another example, another analogy I can give you is if you were eating a feast. Let's say you had a fucking 20-foot table with food on it. That's a lot of fucking food. And no matter how fast you eat the food, you will never, ever be able to eat all of it in one sitting. Because all of it won't fit in your stomach. Your stomach isn't big enough. Only so much food will fit in it at any given time. Your stomach has to be emptied out before you can put more food in it. An engine is the same way with air. Now, if you could, let's say hypothetically, you could compress the food into smaller amounts, then you can eat more of it. You can fit more food in your stomach. Engine theory. Look it up. Learn about it. Do something. Just fucking don't tell me that I don't understand physics when you're trying to tell me that a blower that is incapable of compressing air will increase horsepower output on an engine.